Peter, when I see some of the magistrates picking taxis to work or from work, it frightens me. The other passenger you meet in that taxi, you don't know whether his brother had appeared before you and you convicted that person. You convicted him in accordance by virtue of your knowledge of the law, what you understand the law to be. And you impose a sentence on him that by the guiding principle, you think that this is the appropriate sentence. You share in taxi with that person. It could even, or maybe even the driver. You're exposing this young magistrate to some danger. And I don't think it will be too much to really invest a little bit more to secure their personal safety. I don't think it will. It will take a lot to do that. I know it might be difficult to provide security at their homes, but there are some people around. I see people around who have police escorts. They are not even in the public service.
Oh, they are not?
They are not in the public service. Why can't we provide for these people? Yeah. And quite frankly, I know there has been a lot of hue and cry about the remuneration of judges, but then you want to have well-paid judges in order to secure their independence. And independence doesn't just mean independence from government. From government influence. It is independence from other people, from other factors.
Okay. So you're in support of the recent pay package voted for the judiciary?
Oh, yeah. In fact, in some countries, the Chief Justice earns more than the President.
You'll be okay with that? You'll be okay with a Chief Justice that earns more than you as President?
Of course. Because
why? Is it because they do more work than the President? Is the Chief Justice doing more work than the President?
Let me just say, I sit late at night to prepare my cases. They sit very late at night writing judgments, deciding on very controversial issues, deciding on issues involving millions of dollars. The temptations to be influenced by those millions of dollars is there for any human. You want to insulate them from that. And apart from that, as president, I travel presidents and ministers, they travel a lot. And anytime they travel, they have allowance. How many times does the Chief Justice travel, or any of the judges of the superior courts, for them to receive allowances? During vacations, maybe they'll go and attend some professional seminars. So their situation is different. I mean, the doctor. Let me just go on to say, look, because some people will say, oh, that way to hang a lawyer, so mom, the lawyers in you. In fact, that's why they say some of them say that I want to become Chief Justice.
But what safeguards will you put in place to ensure that public funds are used responsibly? You just spoke about some people who are not even in public service, who are having state-sponsored security. So what safeguards will you put in place to ensure that public funds are used responsibly? The money that is being taken from me, from somebody else?
Well, I think I would, for lack of a proper word, I think I would appoint a prefect.
Okay, that's interesting. It's not happened with Jawara's government. It's not happened with Yahya Jammeh's government.
Well, only there's about innovation. There has to be something new things introduced.
So that is one new thing that a UDP-led government will introduce.
Yes,
how would you call him? A prefect against corruption, or a prefect?
For corruption, I'll appoint anti-corruption czar.
Okay.
Yeah. Madam Prefect, that will see to it that the Gambia Police Force deploys its officers to perform duties and to attend to people or personnel that required by virtue of the position they hold. Like, as I say, minister, have your orderly. You just have your orderlies. But how can you justify a Yai company having a PIU personnel guarding her?
Yai companies have?
Yai company, I say so, Yai company.
Oh, wow.
Yai company.
UDP Yai companies? Well, we have to qualify. Don't you have Yai companies?
We do have Yai companies, but certainly a UDP Yai company will not have that privilege.
Okay.
So when a former vice president who was UDP had all his security withdrawn when he was removed from office, but maybe one or two former vice presidents still have.
Okay. So definitely an NPPI company.
Certainly an NPPI company. We cannot do an NPPI company. Yes, an NPPI company. Yeah. And some family members of the president. I'm not talking of the first ladies, because they, by virtue of their position, of course they have to have it.
Okay, so first ladies have to have security.
Of course.
Okay.
Because of their position.
So what other family members are not entitled to?
Well, my sister. If I'm from my sister will not have it. Neither will my brother have it. But my sister, I know women sometimes.
Do the current president's sisters have security?
Well, my sister will not have security.
And I'm asking, do the current president's sisters have, or brothers?
Well, Peter, my sister will not have. And I say my sister will not have it because I know that some close relatives of the president have security, armed security. Yes, I know.
All right. On Monday, the 10th of November 2025, we're with Alhaji Usainu Dabo. He is the Secretary General and leader of the United Democratic Party. He is also, once again, the flag bearer for the 2026 presidential election, and he's spending this morning here with us. Tomorrow I'll be receiving the Minister of Higher Education, Research, Science and Technology. What is your vision for tertiary education in the Gambia?
Well, you're getting a great guest tomorrow. Yeah? I'll make sure that I don't miss a word of what he utters here.
You're stating the obvious. You listen to Coffee Time from, the signature tune to the goodbye.
Yes, I agree.
So nothing passes you by.
Yes, nothing passes, but sometimes I say, oh, is that man again? But not.
I know who.
But not with Professor. Not
I know
with Professor Gomez.
It won't be him tomorrow.
Okay, not with Professor Gomez. Yeah. You see, I commend him, but there's an area that I really disagree. The proliferation of universities.
Okay.
University of Science and Technology, the University of Education,
University of Civil Service.
Civil Service and Administration.
Yes.
I don't agree with that. I would want to have all these institutions they call universities. I would want to have all of them under UTG.
Okay.
And then there's what they call university, have them as faculties and schools. Because very soon, if you have University of Education, very soon you'll have University of Agriculture and so forth. You have University of Science and Allied Medicine, you'll probably want to have University for Nurses. It doesn't, in the first place, for proper utilization of resources. I'll put all these universities under University of the Gambia, So that for university education, you have the School of Education, University of the Gambia. School of Administration in the University of Gambia, Faculty of Science and Engineering, all under UTG. And the resources.
School of Public Management, so that you don't convert MDI to another university.
Yes, you have all of them as schools and faculties and the University of the Gambia. And then the resources that I'm using to sustain and support these new institutions, I'll put a percentage of that to the University of the Gambia, and then encourage the creation of an advanced institute for research, so that it could be research in law, research in medicine, agriculture, whatever, and probably for research in agriculture, would also try to see how you can bring NARI under that advanced institute for research. That is what I'll do. But I don't think because already you have challenges in funding UTG. You have challenges in meeting some of their demands. Why do you want to create further challenges for yourself? So that is what I will do. I probably, I know, I'm not sure whether it's out of deference because Professor Gomez came in and found this trend going on. I was in cabinet when some of these proposals were made, and I said no, it doesn't make sense. And I still believe in it.
Okay, so that to criticize about the approach to the proliferation of universities, as you say. But what about the TVET strategy? What role do you see for vocational and technical training in national development, and how we are going about it?
It has incredible role, and that must be encouraged. After all, I think I heard you with St. Peter's, in celebrating the anniversary. You really want to get our young people trained in the various skills, so that they can even become self-employed. They don't have to look for employment from Peter Gomez or from another person. In fact, Peter Gomez would be probably forced to go head hunting for some of these people. And that is what we need. And that is why I really drove my heart for Professor Gomez for pushing that agenda. Yeah.
How will your administration support innovation and entrepreneurship among our young people?
Well, I think first you need to have funds established into which the young people can really tap. You cannot get entrepreneurship, successful entrepreneurship undertaken by any of our people if they do not have the necessary support. Support in every aspect, support by appropriate legal framework, support financial, expertise support. You need all those things for them. And this, I think this is what we want to do for our young people, so that you arrest this exodus of our young people. When I heard on this program today that immigration intercepted a boat carrying even pregnant women, I say, oh, what is happening to my country? What is happening to my country? Pregnant women. And these are probably women who are not even educated, with their children, taking this perilous journey. And that is a mass exodus, 1,000 people. But I think it's just not sufficient for these boats to be apprehended. The culprits must be traced and prosecuted. And I want to suggest to Honorable Attorney General that let us look at the law on human trafficking, enhance the punishment, so that it could deter people from really subjecting, providing that they are not subjecting them, but then giving opportunity to our young people, depleting our labor force to Europe. We have to stop it. You must punish those people who are engaged in this human trafficking. You must tell them that the price you pay for this will be enormous. You will regret forever being engaged in it. And then have more intelligence. Have more intelligence, in ensuring that these culprits, the moment they take a step, they are in your net. I think we should be doing that for our country.
A lot of people would argue that what fuels this backway syndrome, this irregular migration to Europe, are unemployment and underemployment. Because we also hear that people who already found work are deserting their jobs to embark on the backway. How would a UDP-led government or a UDP government tackle underemployment and unemployment of our young people?
Well, underemployment, I think that is the wages.
Yes.
Low wages. Yeah, because talk of salary increase, but has it any?
The government would say they have done that multiple times, more than any previous government.
I agree. I agree. But when you increase salaries, and yet the cost of living is not controlled, the salary increase is of no use. So you really have to have a two-pronged approach to it. Increase salaries and also ensure that the cost of living, if it doesn't go down, it doesn't increase. And how do you do that? Well, you have to ensure that our currency, our dalasi, is not like, I hope the governor of the central bank won't slap me for this, not like Tabajambo, what we say. It's not, I wouldn't say useless, but it's not weak. And how do we strengthen it? Our productive sectors of the economy, we have to pay particular attention to them. You see, I want to suggest this to the governor of the central bank and finance minister.
Well, they usually accuse the UDP of not proposing solutions.
But
but here you are now. So
no,
here you are suggesting to the
governor. When they don't have anything to say, they say they only talk, but they don't do anything. But we share this thought with them. You want to make sure that our young people, the general population.
I thought you were addressing the governor before we come to that. Yes.
Yes, because it's relating to those young people. They are put in a position where they can really take to farming. But you have to help them with the finances. I would ask the governor of the central bank and the finance minister to make it as a matter of policy that all the commercial banks in this country have a development wing for agriculture, for fisheries, for horticulture, so that they give loans to people engaged in those activities at interest rates that are bearable. You cannot charge 23-25% for one who is going into fruit farming. It takes 3-4 years before his trees start fruiting. And by the time you harvest and export, it's maybe 4 years. The interest accumulating for that period, the business is killed. So I will ask them that all the commercial banks have a development wing, so that they provide these facilities, loan facilities, to people who want to engage in agriculture, in horticulture, in aquaculture, all these cultures.
Low interest loans.
At low interest rates.
Okay.
And then You know, I mean, our young people, if they have that, there's hope. They know that, look, I have something back home here, so why do I have to go to Europe? I want to encourage them. And also our other businesses, let them put together some capital and then approach the government either to guarantee loan from the banks, and which loans also must be on low interest rates, so that they can buy trawlers and all the fishing equipment, fishing gears, and exploit our marine resources. Let us not leave it to the foreigners. And this way, we will be really benefiting from our marine resources for the good of the country. And our economy will start booming. Because when we start exporting our horticultural products, our agricultural products, our fish products, we earn foreign exchange. And then, of course, with the bigger your foreign exchange base is, the stronger your dollar is. I'm not an economist, but I think the government of the central bank knows that better than me. So I'm asking them really to do as a matter of policy, really, yes. Because these banks, they all deposit all their funds with the central banks by treasury bills, and you and I and others end up paying them the interest, because the interest that is charged, I mean, the taxpayers.
That suggests that it's the central bank that is encouraging these banks, you know, to give them their money, and then they pay them interest. So how will you tackle this glaring problem?
But this is what I'm saying, that, you know, we'll get the banks to really, that surplus fund, we don't need, they want to deposit at the central bank so that they are paid interest on it. We'll ask them to apply it, you know, to the economy of this country and get it moving.
But because the banks say this extra money that they are giving the central bank, it's an imposition on them, and the central bank is doing that so that in case a bank goes under, you know, depositors are not. I don't think so, because, you know, we have the case of the Continent Bank.
No, that is not a question of Continent Bank not depositing, not Continent Bank not depositing.
They did not deposit enough.
No, but that was according to their own regulations. They deposited funds, but then because of their own lack of proper supervision, they allowed the capital to fly out of the country.
This is the central bank now?
Yes. They allow it to fly out of the country. But now I understand, now they have raised the ceiling of deposits. But I'm saying that is different from money they put in the bank, apart from their deposit. Okay. The money they put there by treasury bills. And those treasury bills, of course, bear interest. Who pays for them? The ordinary Gambians. So I'm saying that the money that is put in the central bank, invest in treasury bills, let the government take a reasoned policy stand, so that those funds can be put back to society. Not these corporate social responsibility undertakings they do. Here, Edward Francis Small Teaching Hospital, Banza Hospital. No, I'm saying that, you know, it would be meaningful investment back into the economy of the country. That's what I'm saying.
Okay, so I hope the commercial banks are listening.
Well, I hope
so that eventually they will all have this development wing as part of their setup.
Yeah, well, yes, because you had an agricultural development bank here. That is no more. If you had an agricultural development bank, there's people involved in horticulture and agriculture and all those things. They probably
was that not government funded and government controlled?
It was government. It was government funded.
So then maybe the onus is on government now to come up with an agricultural development bank.
Yeah. But if they do,
would you prioritize that if you ever became president of this country?
Well, certainly, it's just not agriculture, but even banking, housing, even housing. Yeah. We have to do that. Yeah. So these are some of the things that, you know, we really sit down and think about. And let me tell you, Peter, you know, some of these, you know, when I reminisce on them, I want to go into tears. These are some of the things my good friend Lamin Diba and I and Keme Senjame, when we, after lunch, in Mile. Today will come to my area. You know, we sit there, brainstorm. What are we going to do? What are we going to do? What should we do? So these are some of the things that we thought about that should be done. Yeah. Particularly,
which unfortunately have yet to be done.
Particularly for how commercial banks could help in the energizing the economy of this country, you know, by really giving soft loans to, the farming community, soft loans to youths who have formed themselves into cooperatives and pursuing particular entrepreneurial ventures.
On Monday, the 10th of November 2025, you're with Coffee Time with Peter Gomez, and we are with lawyer Usainu Dabo, Secretary General, party leader and flag bearer of the United Democratic Party, and in the remaining 20 minutes of my conversation with him, we will be looking at contemporary issues. You were in Jambanjeli recently. Given recent happenings in the party, how has it affected the strategy, the campaign strategy of the UDP and the message?
Well, our message really, I don't think our message has changed. Fundamental has changed, and I think what we've been telling the militant is really being heard by them, and they are really, I think most of them now want to behave and act like party leaders instead of just militants, and that's how. Not to engage in frivolities, not to engage in loose talks, but really talk about the real issues of the country. Our militants are doing so. And, we have a particular lady in Finland. I call him Jai Kompin General. Yeah?
Jai Kompin?
General.
Okay, Jai Kompin General.
Yes. She is a very phenomenal woman, very amazing. When people talk about these trivial matters, she talks about real issues. The cost of living, the lack of proper medical facilities in our hospitals, the decaying infrastructure, even though they say they're building, but the decaying infrastructure. Take from Westfield to Sukta through Bakote, until to get to Sukta. That road is less than 10 years old. It's decaying. And so it is with many of the other road infrastructure. We're talking about that. Not only that, she also talks about the decay in society, in our moral standards. And when I say now moral standards, I do not mean getting involved in illicit relations between men and women. I'm not talking about that. You know, the level of corruption. It's a moral. It's not only legal, but it's also a moral issue.
Of course,
it's also a moral issue. These are things that our militants are talking about, and convince people that the panacea to all these moral ills is United Democratic Party. Because we have stood against this from the get-go. From 1996, we have been fighting, speaking against corruption in this country. I'm amazed. A gentleman in UK sent me something. He says he brought it from Bottom Box. You know, when I was speaking against corruption in this country, the crude oil saga, the $3 million that was taken of the Taiwanese loan,
and put where?
And put in bank in Switzerland. The documents I produced, court documents, substantiating the position I was taking. You know, I said, look, yes, we have been at this, and we'll continue until we get there and really do the real work. Because now we are talking about it, because we do not have the opportunity. Gambians have not been given the opportunity to really implement all these things to make sure that what we say obtains in this country.
Why do you think that in almost 30 years, it will be 30 next year, the message has been consistent, but then, the people who are receiving the message are not getting the true meaning of the message?
Well, because Gambians have been taught that for you to be a good citizen, you must live on things that you do not own. And Gambians have been made to believe that. This is what Gambians have been made to believe.
Yeah, but your message is supposed to change that.
It's supposed to change that. Yes, it's supposed to. It's supposed to change.
Thinking, yes.
It's supposed to change that thinking. But look, it takes time. It takes time.
30 years is a long time.
30 years is a long time.
Yeah.
But when we are saying those things,
she's not 30 yet.
No, I'm sorry, she's
not 30
I know.
either.
Yeah.
That's by the way, the camera woman and the sound technician. They're both under 30.
Under 30.
Yeah. So for them, it's a lifetime.
It is a lifetime. It's something into which they were born, and we don't want them to die in it.
So
we don't want them to die in it.
I am hardened in my way of thinking. They are still young. Is it the message? Is it the way you've been addressing them? Is it, when you bring up corruption, you're still addressing, the Peter Gomez's, the 60-year-old plus, rather than the people who form the majority? Because the youths form the majority of our population. They are the ones now to receive this message. Just because somebody is a minister does not mean that you take all your problems to them.
And they
because you're forcing them to, to be touching resources that are not there. So how do you communicate to Fanta here and Rohi?
And they are the ones we are addressing. Telling them because of this corruption. That is why you have been deprived of this particular opportunity. And you must make sure that you take steps to ensure that what you are entitled to is not taken away from you because of corruption. And I think for them, I think the message is getting down onto them. And I can tell you, the number of younger people younger than your technicians here, who come to talk to me passionately about what's happening in the country and their disapproval of it, the number of people is amazing. And I do have hope that 2026, it will become clear to everybody that the message has been well received. And because the message has been well received, that is why a UDP government is being installed in 2026.
You're sure about that?
Alhamdulillah, I'm really sure of that.
But increasingly, people are convinced that no single party can win an election in this country. And in the case of the UDP, not after we have seen all these splinters. Today, Lamin J. Dabo is leading a party of his that is not called UDP. Talib is on his way to formalizing the existence of UMC. It's a party that is not called UDP. The fragmentation is more in 2025 going into 2026. How do you then make a strong case for a UDP election victory next year?
Well, see, I respect these two gentlemen whom you have mentioned. I respect them for deciding the way they have done. After all, this is a democratic country, and every person, in whatever endeavor you are in it for a purpose. And if you feel that that purpose is not being fulfilled, or I cannot attain that purpose, if I remain where I am, it's good for you to go. And we have absolutely no problem with that. And we wish them all the best. But Talib certainly has been very, very active in UDP. Nobody can deny that. But my brother Lamin, I do not know really how much into UDP he was. I really do not know.
I spoke to him. He supported financially. So that is commitment.
I have never been at any occasion political UDP where Mr. Dabo was. Not even in Gunjur. Not even in social occasions, when attracted social occasions that have political undertones. And Gunjur is probably supposed to be the place.
So he wasn't a visibly active member of the UDP.
Well, I do not know of any invisible member of UDP. How can you say that I'm an invisible member? I mean, look, let's be frank. Politics is like fire. You cannot really put it there because it will burn you. So, if you have...
It's like smoke. You can't cover smoke.
You can't cover it. So if you're really involved with the party, people, particularly the party leader, we belong to the same profession. We should really have been together in a lot of things, discussing legal issues affecting the country, constitutional issues affecting the country, but no. Bori Ture and Mametala, these are lies. And of course, you see, they're even in the executive. So Mr. Dabo, I don't know, and again, I want to say that I do not want to underrate whatever contribution he made, but I, Usain Dabo, I am not aware of it. I'm not saying he hasn't done it. He could have done it probably at the level of Gunjur, but I, Usain Dabo, I'm not aware of it. So the fragmentations, it didn't surprise me that it did happen, and certainly, how do you call it? It's one go, two come.
Oh, that's what's happened.
That is what is happening. It's one go, two come.
Because recently, I understand hundreds of supporters or maybe loyalists of other parties crossed over to the UDP. Can you tell us?
There's this gentleman. He wanted to form a party, and in fact, he has structures or at least connections all over the country. And he, to the best of my knowledge, and from what he told me, he had engagements with at least 2 or 3 other political parties.
Including the NPP?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. I think CDC says he's a good friend. They know each other very well.
The administrative secretary of the NPP?
They know each other very well.
Okay.
They know each other very well, yes. And it was his discussions with me that convinced him that he should come over to UDP, abandon the idea of establishing a party. Because he said, look, why do I have to establish another party if there's a home I can go to? I was thinking alike. And I don't know whether he flattered me or not. He said, what really struck about me is my accessibility. No formalities in securing audience with me. Just walked in with somebody I knew, and here we are, engaged in conversation for about 2 hours.
Aren't you worried about your security? Because, yeah, that is true. I mean, you're very accessible.
Yes.
I walked into your compound just like that, and I was expecting, to encounter some muscular, bulgy biceps guys, at the gate, keeping me there waiting while they got you. And it was very easy, to just get through to you. Aren't you concerned about your security?
I am concerned about my security.
So why aren't you having, security around you, as we know it?
Well, okay, yes, having security as we know it, is because I believe that I have the greatest protector. No one that can provide me better security than him.
Who?
God, the Almighty. I sincerely believe it. I always say, Tawakkaltu ala Allah. Look, Peter, what God has destined, you cannot avoid it. After all, haven't you seen Indira Gandhi gone down by her own security? So really, you have some of these things, you have to resign it to some philosophical reasoning. I will not be foolish enough, of course, I will of course not be foolish to take risks. But then, I don't want all this. You know, when I was vice president, I had problem with Turo Jaune. I hope he's listening. He was the commander, I think, of the Presidential Guard. Because with this traffic, clearing traffic, the way I see taxis have been put up, drivers have been pushed off the road, so I didn't like it. And I complained. I said, look, let me go home or go to the office in the way I'm used to.
Being caught up in traffic and all of that.
Let me
you know,
look.
Standing still in one place, you know,
Look,
because of a gridlock.
Look, Peter, I have been removed as vice president. I don't even have a security. What is there? If it's something that was going to be permanently with me, yes. But you know these things that's transient. When you are removed from the office, they all disappear. Yeah. Why do you have to worry about that? Yeah. Why should I take my trust away from God, the greatest protector, the biggest security guard? Why should I take my hope away from him? This is it.
Okay. I mean, you've put your faith and trust in.
Yeah, of course.
The surest,
yes.
Of places. Yeah. In the remaining 5 minutes, everybody is worried about the tone of campaign rhetoric. Dr. Babagale Jallo wrote
very good piece. Yeah, and D.A. Jao, all of the three contributors, all of them.
Yes, the other one being Adama Makasuba.
Makasuba, yeah.
You're a leader. I mean, the two most dominant people politically in the Gambia are yourself and Adama Barrow. What will you do in, your case to help tone down the rhetoric, bring civility in our political language, our campaign language?
Well, see, anybody who is in a leadership position in the party will not be engaged in anything that will heighten the tensions in this country, that will make the environment more toxic. In fact, we want to do everything possible to detoxicate the environment, the political environment. And it has to start with the leaders, with our utterances. We can tease each other. Yeah. And that.
So when Barrow says things about and against you, is that teasing? Is that how you receive it? Because your supporters react differently.
When he said when they call him His Excellency and then saying that the way I work, I laughed, I enjoyed it, and I imitated the way he did it with my daughter. I said, look, when Barrow says, when you call him His Excellency, this is how that works. I say, oh my God, I like it. Okay. For me, probably that is teasing. I don't take anything about that. Of all the same with that, for me it's okay. But when you start being contemptuous and uttering disdainful remarks about colleagues, I think that is unacceptable. You see, in this very room, the information minister was referring to Talib as this boy. This boy. I think he repeated 3 or 4 times, and he said, but you are never afraid of mentioning people's name. And then he said, Talib Ahmed Bensouda. He didn't even say Mr. That is contemptuous. Coming for a leader. You are telling your followers that this is the way you must treat your political opponents, your political rivals. And it's not a good message to them. I appeal to myself, I advise myself and all others that whilst we can tease each other, let us not really be contemptuous of each other. I'm referring to SFL as having a mental problem. Amen.
He denied that though.
But we had it. We had it. It's not something that we are making up, we had it. Esa doesn't deserve to be described by anybody, particularly from people who hold leadership positions in the government of this country. I think it is the primary responsibility on us leaders to behave properly, because our utterances, our behaviors can help guide what our supporters do and what not to do. So I start the advice with myself, and of course with all other members of our executive, going down to the to the last militant of our party. Let us treat each other with respect. At least Talib is a mayor of your municipality. If you don't even call him Lord Mayor of Carnifing Municipal Council, you don't want to mention his name. You say the Lord Mayor of Carnifing. Why you don't say this boy, this boy, this boy?
Okay.
No, it's bad.
Okay. A lot of people are convinced that no single party, including the UDP, can win in 2026. It will take a coalition. All the opposition parties, or all the main ones, plus other smaller ones, coming together to defeat Adama Barrow, who is already in a coalition of
many parties
of his own. What's your position on a coalition? What is the UDP doing to ensure that there is a coalition, and what are its conditions for a coalition?
No, well, we want a coalition. We advocate for a coalition, and we are not just making a call for it. But in the next couple of days, I'll approach people I believe share the same vision with us, people who think alike with us.
Do you have many of them out there? Because we have so many parties.
Well.
And upcoming ones.
Well, of course, upcoming ones, yes. Of course, you have so many of them, I mean, I want to really look at the ones that have been on the political scene
GDC
before 2021 and immediately after the 2021 elections. And of course, there may be some in the next
GDC, obviously.
GDC.
Because there was a time when you came together, him, and Safal, to try to fight the 2021 election.
Yeah, GDC, of course.
Election results.
GDC, of course. Doi, of course. Safal, of course. Mr. Mane, of course.
Ibrahim
Tabora Mane, of course. Well,
there's Tabah Reumi as well. Are you not approaching them because they've not been formally registered as a party yet, or what? Tabah Reumi?
Well, Tabah Reumi.
Amadou Ka.
Amadou Ka. Well, okay. Amadou Ka, really, I won't dismiss him. If I won't dismiss any political actor.
Okay. That qualifies everybody then?
No political actor will be dismissed. We will engage them. And hopefully, we can all see that the needful thing to do is to get rid of Barrow. Otherwise, all our protestations against the corruption that is destroying our country will really be mere rhetorics. It will be of service to our people, of this nation, of these young girls and other young people, that we get together and rescue this country.
Barrow thinks the work he has done so far, the level of development he has, done in this country, is the one thing that those of you in opposition, have to contend with. Because people will look at what he has done and decide, well, the best thing for Gambia is Barrow. So keep Barrow in #1 Marina Parade.
And so that shows how he thinks.
Is he wrong?
If it's the infrastructural development, Abdoulaye Wade would still have been president of Senegal. He would still have been president of Senegal.
But he was defeated by
But
Macky Sall.
he was defeated by Macky Sall. And Macky Sall also carried on, and I mean, very good infrastructure development, in fact, roads. But he was also defeated.
Well, he couldn't, after 2 terms, he couldn't seek a 3rd term.
No, he couldn't.
He tried the 3rd term.
Yeah, he could. Yeah, he could.
It didn't work. It didn't work in his
But
case.
then that legacy would have not to the benefit of his party.
True.
Would have benefited to his party, which never happened. But look, let's go outside of Africa. You know, really, we have changes of government every time in the United States, in UK. They don't talk of infrastructure. They don't talk of roads. They talk of the living conditions of the people, housing, Medicare, and so forth. This is what we should be talking about here, not roads. We should be talking about the price of rice, bag of rice in this country. I just watched a video 2 days ago of my campaign in Garawal in 1996. And what I predicted there, I told people that if you vote for Jammeh to come in, the bag of rice is going to cost you $400 or $500. Because at that time, it was less than 400, because 400 would be too much.
Yes.
I told them it was going to happen. And when I looked
Today
at
we
that,
wish the price was only
400. Really? And when I looked at that paper, I said that this was kind of some prophetic statement. People are concerned about their living conditions. I mean, production in agriculture, I mean, in groundnut production has gone down because the labor force is depleted. All our people are in Spain, in Italy, in Germany, our young people. Those who are here are not being encouraged in any way. You take your produce to the buying station, takes you weeks before you get your money. And you start wondering, this was not what I bargained for.
A UDP government, a UDP-led government will do away with all
We'll
this.
certainly do away with all this. And these are not mere rhetoric, because we have been consistent saying this all along, is part of our DNA. So that when we are there, we are not going to plan to do anything. We'll be there already with plan ahead and execute. We'll hit the ground running. Yes.
2026 is just around the corner.
It is around the corner.
But there's enough space for us to have 1 or 2 more grand interviews where we will talk about other issues.
Well, I'm at your disposal, and so you can arrange that. We say who.
And no, there's one person, just finally and very informally, I want you to get rid of one Mane in your party.
There are several Mane. There is Ibrahim Mane.
No, you know the one I'm talking about. Ibrahim Mane Sumokotola. Okay, Lamin. I'll call the name.
Well, you know Lamin is a Nyancho, and it's difficult to handle Nyanchos, you know.
Thank you very much for your time this morning again, Alaji Zainu Dabo.
Thank you.
That brings us to the end of today's